think we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unrated Podcast, episode number 10. Thank you for downloading our show or showing up to our live recording on YouTube. If you are watching this right now on YouTube, then you should probably have, better hobbies. We are part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network, also known as PSVG. Just for more awesome podcasts, reviews, let's plays, and streams, make sure to check out playsomevideogames.com and to follow PSVG on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Twitch. I don't know. And subscribe to the podcast too. That's important, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who's with us tonight? Joining me tonight, we got our co-host and co-founder, Devin Tyus. What's up, man?
What's cracking? Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. And also we have a brand new guest tonight. Jermaine, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yo, what's up, fellas? Name is Jermaine, also Wakanda forever, ever, and a Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh
yeah. Get the big time X going. I am just a general kind of pop culture maven. Video games, movies, TV, sports. I'm just addicted to pop culture, and known Dev for a long time, and in Austin, Texas, which is a great place to be for that type of thing. And just happy to be with you guys.
What's up? How did Dev drive you into this whole mess, man? I mean, I never met Dev in person, but just knowing him at distance is a drag. I feel like he's a taker, not a giver. He takes energy, he doesn't give back. So I mean, how are you friends with this guy, man?
It's been a difficult friendship. It just super. I don't even really like the guy. It's been probably almost 10 years now.
Wow.
10 plus years.
It's been 10 years. We opened in 2008. We opened that one in 2008, huh?
Yeah. So we've known each other for about 10 years, and I immediately called him and left him a voice message after seeing Black Panther. Yeah. Because I was so stoked about it, and he was like, "You want to come on this podcast?" And I said, "Sure." And then he was like, "Yeah, it's 9:00 Pacific time." And I was like, "Okay." And then I realized I lived in Texas, and now here I am.
What time is it? What time is it? Where are you at?
It is about 11:30.
All right.
So.
Oh, I don't feel as bad. 12:30 over here. Thanks, Deb.
You're welcome. Love you both.
Well, let's go ahead and roll into some check-ins. Jermaine, this is where basically we talk about what we've been up to, whether that's games, life, I don't know, whatever is you right now. For us, a lot of video games. We talk a lot of video games during check-in. But Devin, take us off, man. What have you been up to, man?
All right, so I got an Xbox One X. So that's news because anybody who knows me knows it is like PlayStation forever, like it's Wakanda forever. But just happened to get lucky. Got an Xbox One X, so I'm going to be joining part of the dark side. Looking forward to it.
Dark side, strong side, man.
I don't know about all that. I'm just going to say dark side.
It's the right side to be on. It's the right side to be on.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's exciting. I haven't been this excited about getting a new system in a while, so that's pretty cool. Just being able to play with all you idiots who have the Xbox. So looking forward to some Siege. Looking forward to some Sea of Thieves, because I'm really looking forward to just robbing people who are on missions, because that just sounds like a lot of fun. So if somebody sank your boat and stole your treasure while you were on an island, that was probably me and my crew.
So that's crazy. So I like that you bring up Sea of Thieves, because I was listening to another podcast today, and they talk about people are doing crazy stuff on the beta. This guy swam from one point of the world to the other, and apparently there's sharks in the ocean, right? But he posted on a Reddit, "Hey, can I get a crew to kill sharks for me as I'm swimming across the ocean?"
That's hilarious.
It took him forever, but he did it. He died like 7 times in the first 5 minutes. But then once the crew got their game going, once they got their sights on the sharks, they I think he got a good rhythm all the way to the end. So
That is hilariously awesome.
Nice. Get
But yeah,
the crew of pirates together for a little English Channel swim or something like that. I like it.
that's
I like
right.
it.
Yeah.
so yeah, that's
Cool,
what's
man.
been
So
going on with
Xbox
me.
One X,
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah. So that and going to see Black Panther. Other than that, I've been chilling, just doing the regular life, work, not let the kids win type thing. Yeah,
I
so
want
that's
to
me.
say, I want to use the expression "married to the games," but I think we might get sued by another podcast. It's called "Married to the Games." So
By Gabe and him, yeah.
I
We're,
hate, I
we're
hate,
not we're not taking it. We're just
I
we're just
hate, I
using
hate
it.
that they have that name because I really want that name,
The
and
name
I
is
hate,
awesome.
I hate that they have
That's a
it.
good name.
Man,
Yeah.
all right. How about you, Jermaine? Man, what's keeping you busy nowadays?
I'm still in the post Black Panther high. Actually, just went to go see it again today,
Nice.
Nice.
and just so good. So well done, and I know we'll get into that, but just a lot of Black Panther. Not a lot of gaming right now. I'm kind of just mostly just going through some older games. As Dev knows, I'm a big Mass Effect fan,
Hmm.
specifically Mass Effect 2. And I am a weirdo, and I play the game like at least once a year all the way through.
Wow.
So I'll probably be getting into that. But that's pretty much it, man. Pitchers and catchers reporting. West Coast on lock. LA all day. Ready for my Dodgers to make another run here.
Go
What's
It
Doyers.
up?
was yes, go Doyers all day. So that's what I'm up to, man.
That's what's up, man. I'm a Braves fan, and I moved to a Nationals city, and everyone that moves here automatically bandwagons on the Nationals, which I hate. I went to a game with a friend of mine who's a Braves fan, and he walks in with a Nationals T-shirt, and I'm like, "What? Like, what happened, bro?"
Yeah,
He's like, "Well, it's a hometown team." I'm like, "I don't give a shit. I don't care if they're the World Series champions. Like, you don't just drop your team." Ah, man, I was pissed.
As you should be.
yeah. Can't do that. Can't do that.
As
Nah,
far as
man.
I'm concerned, they're still the Expos. So
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. Oh, that's humiliating. You're
You
right.
stopped following him at the point that like Vlad Guerrero got traded or something.
Oh man, man. Man, what have I been up to? Man, I just got back from an MMA session at a gym.
Ooh.
But I'm really like
Oh,
I'm off my game. So tomorrow I'm not gonna be able to move my neck. At one point, like the instructor comes over and he's like watching my technique, and he's pretty satisfied. I'm being real. Like I have good technique, and then he notices I'm dropping my right guard, and suddenly he just pops me in the face, and I'm like, ooh, and I smile, but inside I really wanted to pop him back, but I was gonna die after that. So, as far as games, man, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I hate the fact that I like this game.
What?
I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate the fact that today I got home from work and I knocked out 4 shrines in a row.
I can't believe you finally got into it and you actually like it. Oh man.
Well, here's the thing. Like I picked up 4 games that I wasn't playing anymore, and I took them to GameStop during like a trade-in deal weekend, and I got $90 from all the games. And I was like, whoa, this is like pretty sure I almost made up all the money that I paid for the games.
Nice.
And I was like,
nice.
yeah, I mean, and I was like, well, I'm going to pick up Zelda because I picked it up for free, basically. If I don't pick it up for free, I'm not going to pick it up. And then I picked up Assassin's Creed Origins, which I need to finish because I'm halfway through. And honestly, like, man, Breath of the Wild, that's a good game. I hate the fact that I'm on that bandwagon, but I really don't know what is it about the game that makes you keep playing. There's no achievement, there's no like, in case when a game is bad on Xbox, at the very least you get achievements, right?
Right.
At the very least you get like, boom, whatever. I love that feeling, man. I love that feeling. But there's this game you just die and it's frustrating. But somehow I keep going back to it. I don't get it. Screw you,
we're
Donnie.
never gonna hear the end of that from
Donnie. Donnie's the guy who pays the bills at PSVG, man. He's the guy that bankrolls his operation. So
Yeah.
He's also a Nintendo guy.
Cool.
So
Yeah, and he's the butt of all the jokes.
All right. Well, what up, Donnie? I don't know you well enough to joke about you. And hopefully, for your sake, you better hope I never do.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
Donnie's a good guy. Donnie's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
It's like he just loves Nintendo at a level that I don't know. I mean, I guess I love Halo at that level. I love a lot of things at that level, but he really likes Nintendo.
But I mean, Halo.
Nintendo guys. Yeah, Nintendo guys are usually kind of that way. They're, it's like a semi cult of Nintendo love. It's very unique and tender, and I can appreciate it.
Yeah, I got out the cult at the N64. That was my getting out of the cult phase.
Beyond Zelda, Rainbow Six Siege, I got a round in before this podcast. It took us 40 minutes to win this match.
Whoa.
Because we were down 3-0. And I'm like, guys, if we lose, I'm dropping our rank. And I hate that. I hate de-ranking on Rainbow Six Siege. And I'm like, guys, we can't lose. We come back, we win 5-3. We win 5 rounds in a row. It was amazing. It was it was amazing. I love that feeling in Rainbow. That's one of those games. I just love winning like that. Actually, no, I like winning like I like sweeping the enemy 4-0. I just like winning, I just like straight up winning, destroying them. But if I can't destroy them, I'll come back. I'll do a comeback win. That works. And finally, XCOM 2. I bought that game for $19 on the 2K sale last week. But then I started it and I was like, I immediately got really tired. Like, I'm like, I don't have time for this. So I turned it off and I was like, give me like 3 months and I'll come back to this. So
yeah, sometimes you just got to be in a mood.
Yeah, man. It's just like, brand new game. It's, those games are long. They take a lot of manage. It's like, no, you know what? I don't have time for this right now. I'll come back to this later. So that's it. Man, let's get this discussion. Let's get these topics on the road, man. When do we want to do Black Panther? Do we want to do that now or do we want to do that later? How are we feeling about Black Panther right now?
You know what?
I want
that to be the coup de grace.
Okay.
So let's talk about a couple of other things first.
Okay.
Let's talk about Rainbow Six Siege. How they have decided that they don't want to do sequels, but they're gonna add 100 operators over the next 10 years. I think it's amazing to think that they're gonna have the same game for 10 years. Like, my question with that is, are they just going to keep porting the game to the next generations, or do they know something that we don't, and that this generation is going to last a long time?
That is a great question.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I'm not a big Rainbow Siege guy. I'll out myself and be the first person to say that. I'm pretty horrible at the game, and I don't play games that I'm horrible at because I don't like the punishment. But I will say, I think the model that they're showing is pretty interesting, and I kind of think you see hints of that with GTA 5 Online not having single-player DLC, saying, hey, we got microtransactions, we got updates coming. It feels like that gamers aren't getting tired of that as long as the content is there. And that might be a model going forward that we see from, I think, a lot of companies that are saying, hey, we're online based. Why put the manpower into making a sequel when we can make the game that we have better and continue to evolve it? And it seems like fans are still shelling out. So why not?
Yeah, it's an interesting thought with the GTA because, it's got a gang of content. They just keep pumping it out.
Yeah.
And I guess Rainbow Six will do the same thing.
So they're saying 100 operators. The game has 25 right now. That's a lot of operators. Plus maps, right? They're releasing 5 maps per year. So in 10 years, that's 50 maps. Right. And I'm sure they'll rotate some of them in and out, right? Like they'll phase this one out, they'll add new ones. But man, getting a new map period is like it just adds new life to the game, which is awesome. For me, they're thinking this could be the new Counter-Strike. And I'm not saying Counter-Strike is gonna go away. I'm just saying like they are looking at Rainbow Six Siege and they're like this could rise to be a Counter-Strike like experience for the next 10 years or maybe longer. So Dev, are we doing Super Size Me Baby tonight?
You know what? I think that just needs to be the new thing that we do every night. So
okay,
yeah, let's do it.
Does Jermaine know about Super Size Me Baby?
No, he does not.
Okay, so if you like a story or a headline that we're gonna bring up tonight, if you like it, you say Super Size Me Baby. Like I want more of this. If you are okay. If you're okay with it, you say, "Can I get fries with that?" And if you are like, "Nah, man, I'm not digging this at all," you say, "Can I pass the Tums, please? Pass the Tums."
Okay.
Because this is gonna go down hard. So Rainbow Six Siege, I love this game. I'm all about developers investing energy into a product. Super Size Me Baby. Super size it all the way up. I'm all for it. How are we feeling about this?
I'm gonna go ahead and can I get fries with that?
What? Come on, man.
It's only because I haven't played the game yet. Like I want to play the game. Like I watched one of your clips the other day, and I was like, "That was awesome. I want to get in on this."
Wait, but, is it one of my C4 kills?
Like, no, it was like you had these 2 kills where some dude crept around the corner, but you got him first, and you came back down. And another guy tried to keep around, and you got him too. I was like, "Oh man."
I love throwing a C4 because it's not even a grenade. It's like the slowest grenade. It's like it launches across the air super slowly and it drops on the floor and then you press the trigger and it blows up. I love getting those kills because it's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely, let me get fries with that. And I mean, you and Mo, you guys had a nice little round the other night where y'all went like undefeated. So I'm like, you know what? I want to get in on the action. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the game up eventually. And then we'll get fries with that.
All right, Jermaine, how do you feel about this?
I will also go ahead and take fries with that. I've played the game, and again, I did enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy getting killed that much. So it's not necessary. Yeah, it's not necessarily my cup of tea, but I am very interested to see how this plays out over the next few years and how many other developers decide that this is what they want to do instead of creating sequels, just pumping more into their original IP. So I'll have some fries with that.
Sounds good. I like it. What's next, Devin? What's next on the list?
So next up on the list, we have Twitch delaying the implementation of their new community chat rules. There's been a lot of toxicity in the Twitch chat and just a lot of weird stuff going on. So Twitch has been trying to crack down on a lot of that, but they ended up delaying the implementation of that. I'm not entirely sure why.
I can drop some details on this. So originally the new policies blamed the channel if the chat was toxic. So let's say we were on Twitch right now. And some troll came on the chat and started, dropping some, awful stuff, derogatory, racist, sexist, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Twitch would be like, this is your chat. You're responsible for this. We are blaming you for it. Obviously, channels weren't very happy about that. They're like, look, we can set up some bots. We can do the most we can to control the chat. But sometimes it gets, the people get around that. Yeah. So they delayed it because they're trying to figure out how to deal with this in a way that doesn't put all the blame on the channel, like the people actually, producing content for Twitch.
Interesting, because I know I was reading that they are doing a lot of stuff where they're changing like the rules as a streamer. Like they're making it so like you can't wear a low cut shirt if you're a female, all kind of like weird stuff like that. So they're just like completely changing up Twitch, trying to clean it up, get rid of some of the filth. And I just think it's Twitch is just thriving right now. Let's just go ahead and just kind of let it ride out a little bit longer. I mean, if people want to complain and say that a chick is only getting, views because she's a quote unquote titty streamer,
It's true.
like, if you're salty about that, deal with it. Like, move on. Like, why are you so salty about somebody else getting theirs? Like, don't worry about them. Do you? So, like, that kind of stuff, I'm just like, why? Why? Like, for me, honestly, when I go into Twitch and I'm watching, I close the chat panel because I don't want anything to do with it. I'm just here to see the game and enjoy the commentary.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, Dev. I think it's important that they crack down on hate speech and just vile stuff. But some of the other stuff I think is a little bit more of a gray area. It's kind of, hey, what do you like and what don't you like? Ultimately, if you're an adult, you kind of have the choice to watch it or not. So I like the fact that they're taking steps, but I also like the fact that they said, hey, we're going to listen to some of our content providers here and take a step back and relook at this policy because, you're live streaming. You can only do so much.
Right.
Like you were saying, you can't really control what's going to come out of other people's mouths, what they're gonna chat. So I think it's probably a good idea that they take a step back and say, hey, before we start casting blame, let's really look at our policy and see if it's effective or not.
Absolutely.
You know what I want on Twitch? I want makeout sessions, like two people making out, but they're each holding a controller with one hand. So I'm making out with someone, but I'm holding the controller with left hand, and my wife, I'm guessing, because that's the only person I would make out with. She's holding the controller with the right hand, and we're trying to beat a game like that. I would watch. I'm not gonna lie, I would watch that.
I mean, I think obviously you got to take it to the next level here, right? And then you guys are making out, and you guys are both playing Super Mario Odyssey at the same time.
That's
trying
impressive.
to coordinate with each other.
That's some impressive stuff, man.
Wasn't there a game where you actually had to coordinate with like the second player to actually get stuff done? I think it was called Brothers or something like that.
Oh yeah,
something
like that.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's that game coming out, the jailbreak game. You know what I'm talking about?
A Way Out.
Yeah, isn't that kind of like that too?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's yeah, absolutely. So I'm expecting to see on the what's the name of your stream called? It's something gamer newbie wife.
Oh, we changed it to Gaming Ever After.
Gaming Ever After. There we go. So I expect to see the makeout session A Way Out on your stream. So.
I got some hate comments about gamer husband newbie wife. I feel like it was condescending on. It wasn't like my wife approved it. She's like, yeah, I'm a newbie at games. Like I suck, Well, she's getting better. She beats me at Mario Kart sometimes now, so that works. For Twitch, I'm gonna say, can I get fries with that? I want to see what happens with this. Yeah. I don't take it personal. It's kind of crazy that it's like if you are a hot girl on Twitch, you people watch. I mean, and I'm not jealous. I am kind of jealous that like they get subscribers like that because I want those subscribers. I'm just not hot, kind
of. We're a low cut top and see what happens.
You don't want to see that, bro. Nobody wants to see that.
Somebody wants to see everything. There's a person out there, at least one.
His name is,
and they're gonna love it. It might be. It could be me. It might be my thing.
Oh man. What are you guys rating this?
I'm gonna go with it. Can I get fries with that?
Yeah, that sounds safe.
Let's let it roll.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're listening to their content providers. Like, listen to them. They're the ones who are gonna end up feeling it. And if you don't keep them happy, you don't really have, or at least listen to them and try to work with them, you're not gonna have a platform. So yeah. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo you guys. I'm gonna echo you guys and go with can I get fries with that. Think they did a good thing by pulling back, and let's see where they go and what they do and how they try to address it. It is a real issue, and hopefully they'll be able to get with their content creators and figure out a way to be fair to everybody.
Sounds good. I'm gonna introduce the next one because I know what I'm gonna rate it from the get go.
Oh.
Tomb Raider movie next month. Pass the Tums, please.
Nah.
I am done with video game movies. Like I'm done. Like I just don't. You can't. So here's the thing. I would rather play a really good narrative video game like Mass Effect than watch a TV show. Because I love the fact that I get a say in what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The movies will never match up in my experience to the gaming experience, or the experience of actually controlling a character and, you know, calling the shots. So for me, it's like, I don't know. I don't see the purpose of making another video game movie. I know obviously the purpose is making money, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's always the bottom line.
Yeah, I totally understand you because I'm the same way. Like I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a ton of movies, and that's because I prefer my entertainment to be video games. Mm-hmm. However, with this one is a supersize me, baby, only because I love that Tomb Raider game so much that I bought it at least 3 times. I think I bought it once on PlayStation, again on PS4. And then it went on sale, the digital version. So I bought it on PS4 again after trading in the physical copy. But the trailer, it echoes the game so well that it really, really, really just had me hyped for the movie. So I'm excited. People think that the storyline was weak in that one, but you know what? I'm good with that because it was nonsense. It was a departure from reality, and that's what I want in my media. If I'm going to watch a movie, I don't want to see anything that's going to be even remotely grounded, because for me, that's everyday life. I want to escape and have that fantasy world. And this Tomb Raider game definitely was that. The movie looks like it's almost like a beat for beat copy of the game. And I love the game, so I'm here for the movie.
I'm going to say, and I keep saying this 3rd time in a row, and I don't mean to be Mr. Down the Middle, but I'm going to take fries with that. Here's the thing. Okay, this is like one of my cross sections. I am me and my wife have a term. It's a cinedouche. Like I see so many movies that I can be douchey about it. I'm not like, I try not to be super pretentious, but I do love movies. Perhaps my favorite thing. I saw the trailer and I was immediately kind of okay. It's Tomb Raider. It does have a couple of things going for it that I like. It stars Alicia Vikander, who was an Oscar winner, and is a great actress. She absolutely killed it in Ex Machina, which is an incredible movie. I think it's Walton Goggins, who played Boyd Crowder in Justified, the TV show. I think one of the best TV villains ever. However, I don't really know much about the director. I think he's a guy somewhere from Europe, and he's made a couple of films. And it's weird. I think we've come to this cross section with movies where I think, like what you were saying earlier, it's hard to take an interactive experience where you're making the call and then take that over to a narrative experience. I think Tomb Raider is one of the games that works for that. We'll see if this is the first good video game movie. But I don't have high hopes. I mean, Assassin's Creed had Michael Fassbender, and I was like, what is this? This isn't Assassin's Creed. This is just guys in hoods doing some assassinations sometimes. So,
hey, Jermaine, what's your favorite film? You said you were a cinema. What do you say?
A cinedouche.
A cinedouche.
Yeah.
It's like Cinnabon, but it doesn't taste as good, and it's snarky. My favorite 2 movies would be Back to the Future, which I think is great and still holds up. I think it's like falls into one of those categories of almost a perfect movie, and a movie with Henry Fonda, 12 Angry Men, which, you know, just a courtroom drama that happens to take place in just one room, and just 12 12 really incredible performances, and I think still holds up, still relevant today somewhat. So those would be my two favorite movies.
Those are good picks, man. That's awesome.
I've never even heard of the 12 Angry Men.
That's because you're not cultured, bro.
Got to see it, man.
This is when it comes to movies, I refuse to call them films because I'm not that douchey. I don't care. I couldn't tell you anything about a director. I don't care. Like, it's just not. It's one of those things where I don't pay that much attention. This is one of the things me and Jermaine used to always argue about at work.
Always.
You can take your movies and you can shove them.
You know what? I'll shove them right into my heart, where they'll stay and just grow forever. That's where I'll shove my movies, sir.
So then here's a question.
I like this. I like this friction.
Tarantino trying to emulate that thing with Reservoir Dogs, since it's just a bunch of great performances in one room.
But then you also have that new one, right? The one in the cabin, Hateful Eight. Right, Hateful Eight was also like that.
Yeah, Hateful Eight is definitely kind of one of those examples where it takes place in just kind of one room or one setting. Didn't love Hateful Eight. A great movie, though, if you want to see a movie that takes place basically in one room. Two movies, Room with Brie Larson, who's about to be Captain Marvel, and I'm super stoked for, can't wait. And also Glengarry Glen Ross, which is from the 90s. I think Al Pacino's in it. Alec Baldwin has like one of the great monologues of all time.
Coffee is for closers.
Yes. If you're a salesperson, you've heard that monologue a million times, but it never gets old.
Oh my God, I've heard that so many times.
So many.
Dude, she is going to be Captain Marvel. I didn't know that.
She is. She is going to be pretty awesome.
In the Infinity War trailer, standing next to Doctor Strange, when they're all walking like through a room, it's I think it's Captain America. I want to say, I think was it Black Panther? I can't remember who all is there, but I know that Captain America is there. Doctor Strange is like behind him to the left, and then to the right, there's somebody, but you can't tell who it is. But you can kind of see a part of their costume, and they're saying that it's Captain Marvel.
Very, very well could be.
I'm with it.
All right.
So, moving on to the next one. I'm gonna keep it with the video game thing. Video game movie thing. Because you brought up Back to the Future, and that brings up Ready Player One. Is this how do you guys feel about this? Is this going to be a good video game movie? I know me and Q talked briefly about it last week, but since you're here, Jermaine, I kind of want to get your thoughts on it. I loved the book, but for me, I don't see how this translates well on film when you spend so much time in the main character's head, like you're in his thought bubbles. And for me, books never translate well when they're written with that much thought in the person's head. Like, how do you translate that on film? Plus the fact that there's so many old video games, like all the games in the book were all 80s games, because I forgot what the guy's name is who creates the Oasis, but he loved the 80s. But we're seeing all of the newer characters, like there's the Master Chief, and you've got Overwatch and stuff like that. So what do you think about this movie?
I think it's going to be interesting. The thing I will say, I read the book. I've read the book a couple of times. I know that the geek community, as far as what I've seen, is pretty well split on the book. It can get generic. There is kind of this manic pixie dream girl scenario with Artemis, and there's definitely some problems in the book, but overall, it just taps into this incredible sense of what the 80s were and these games and these movies. I will say Ernest Cline, who wrote the book, also wrote the screenplay in conjunction with Steven Spielberg. So there are going to have to be some wholesale changes just because of licensing rights. It's going to be very hard to get, I think, a good deal of those video games in, a good deal of those movies in. But he did write the movie himself, and that does give me a little faith. It looks incredible, the trailer and having Pure Imagination in the background. just really awesome. I'm not going to put this solely in the category of video game movies, even though I think that a lot of us as gamers are going to take this as a win if it does well, that maybe they'll see there's an audience for it. But it looks amazing so far. And Steven Spielberg doesn't miss a whole bunch. He might make some okay to good films, but he doesn't completely miss. So I have some faith. I don't think it's going to be a straight adaptation, but I think it would be impossible to do it in this case.
When does this come out?
Jermaine,
I believe this is late March. I don't have the exact date, but I believe this is late March. I think a couple of weeks after A Wrinkle in Time. So March is kind of becoming the new summer, March and April, where the summer season starts early, and so they're trying to set this one up for success. So we'll see.
It's a cage fight year for movies. A lot of movies this year. I mean, there's always a lot of movies, but there's a lot of. I mean, Marvel has 3 movies this year?
They've got more than that.
I mean, Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Infinity War.
If you count just the MCU, yeah, but then we also have Venom, which is in partner with Sony.
Sure. So 4. Okay.
And Deadpool.
Right.
Which is Fox, but
oh my gosh. That's 5 Marvel movies.
And don't discount, I believe this year as well, the X-Men Dark Phoenix will be out sometime this year. I'm just saying. I know you hate those movies. I know you hate those movies, but you have to acknowledge them. Even though that is not part of the Marvel Disney slate, that is part of at least Marvel's licensing. So
it needs to go straight to video.
I'm gonna make a prediction right now. Pikachu Detective gets Best Picture award a year from now. That movie is gonna rock our pants off. It's gonna be amazing.
I've got no words.
Is there any possibility that we just have? Because I think Ryan Reynolds is voicing Pikachu.
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken, I went on IMDb and I was like, that's incredible. Is there any way that we can get Ryan Reynolds in a Pikachu costume, either accepting or presenting an award at next year's Oscars? Because in the name of diversity, I think Pokemon deserve a place at the table.
I think so too.
Only if it can be Ryan Reynolds in a Pikachu costume in a Deadpool outfit. I want to go full Ryanception in this.
So Pikachu wearing a Deadpool costume.
Yes.
Wow.
Full Ryanception on this, man.
Does Pikachu in the Deadpool costume also have a Green Lantern ring?
You read my mind. You read my mind.
And is holding hands with Sandra Bullock from The Proposal. I mean, let's just take all the Ryan Reynolds stuff and throw it in one basket. And just a celebration of Ryan.
Yes.
I think Ryan Reynolds, like, accepting the role of Deadpool was like the career boost that he needed. Because I think I don't know. I feel like he was ending up in that like basket of actors that I don't care about, and now I care about him because he's Deadpool and he's really good at Deadpool, and I feel like that was a good career choice for him because I feel like, oh, cool, I care about you again as an actor, because I hated Green Lantern so much.
Oh my god!
Thanks, DC.
It's just another one of DC's mistakes, long running mistakes.
Oh man.
You see Joss Whedon pulled out of Batgirl?
Yes.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no. See, okay. So this is my deal. This is my beef with Joss Whedon. I love Joss Whedon, but Homeboy has some major authority problems. Like, he's always gets into fights with the producers in the studios. Always. He talks shit about Fox when he was running Firefly, and he talked shit about WB when he was doing Buffy. He had beef with Marvel when he was doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it's like, dude, like, I mean, at some point, is it really the studios or is it you? And are you choosing to behave in a profession as a professional in a way that, like, you're not supposed to? I don't know. I don't know the inside scoop, but it feels like everything that he works on, he gets into some major beef with the people above him. And it's like, dude, like what? Like, is it at some point? It's like, is it really the studios, or is this like a personal problem?
Right.
I don't know. I'm not making an assessment. I just feel like the pattern is Joss Whedon. Everything starts out fine, and then shit hits the fan, and then he hates everyone that is his boss. It's like, okay, great, awesome. I don't know.
Yeah. You do make
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, I think it's definitely hard to say. I think what's interesting for this departure in particular is he basically said, "Hey, I didn't have anything to write," which I kind of like the fact that he said, "I'm not just gonna make a movie. The character's a bit too important for them to just do that." But I think you make some valid points there. I wish I had a little bit more inside baseball knowledge on what happens, but that has seemed to be a thing on his movies, and certainly when he gets involved in more than one movie at a time or more than one TV show, that does seem to be a thing. So brilliant guy, but we're not going to get Batgirl, I guess.
He's gonna go to Michael Bay. And it's gonna be like,
oh god,
it's gonna be Batgirl wearing an Iron Man suit. It's gonna be awesome. Just wait for it.
In the Transformers universe.
In the
Oh well, it's Michael Bay, so basically be Batgirl in the least amount of clothes possible. Like it'll be a Megan Fox-esque type woman, and because it's Michael Bay, like Batgirl actually won't be the star. It'll be like Mark Wahlberg phoning in a performance while there's explosions going on in the background. So
she's gonna have like a rocket launcher. That's gonna be her primary weapon. Just a rocket.
Pretty much.
It's like he's seeking missiles, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so. I'll watch that.
Yeah. Lots of slow mo. So much slow mo.
Oh man. Awesome.
All right. So do we want to get into it? You want to get into the big thing?
I feel we're there. Let's get into this.
So, Wakanda.
All right.
So we all read an article from Ebony that kind of went into some of the deeper nitty gritty of what the movie was trying to talk about. Just some of the interplay between Africans and African Americans and the kind of divide there. For me, when I read the article, it really spoke to me. Just like Killmonger. Like, I don't know about you guys, but he was definitely my favorite part of the movie. His rage at being abandoned by Wakanda, basically, but then also not really having a home in America. Like always, having to struggle the entire time. Like he definitely made a way out of no way. Being able to get all the way through and becoming a ghost in one of the highest level ranking positions in the military or whatnot, and being able to just find his way to Wakanda to exact his revenge. Like he definitely did well for himself. But just the play between him and T'Challa, like the two sides of the coin that we never really think about. Like Africans don't know American history when it comes to slavery and stuff like that, and how all of that happens. And it leads to this, just like the rest of the world, they only see our media. So they see what we put out there and they assume that to be true. Just like if you're on the East Coast, you assume the West Coast is nothing but gangbangers. That's just not really how it works.
Wikipedia says so.
Yes. So I don't know about you guys, but that article just really spoke to me, and the movie was just incredible. I've seen it twice. How many times have you seen it, Jermaine?
Twice.
Twice. Okay. I'm ready to go see it a third time. I took my daughter to see it, and I'm ready to just see it again. I've been listening to the score all week. I can listen to the score and just kind of watch the movie in my head just based off of what track is on the score. But God, it was just so good. Chime in here anytime, guys.
I'll do my disclaimer. even though like race is something that, I mean, like I'm a light-skinned Latino, but still Latino, so I definitely like I experienced stuff in this country, whatever. My disclaimer is I don't claim to know, understand, and even a 1% of what it's like to be black in America, right? So I want to be real and just put that out there, right? Because that's the first thing I want to, to point out. Like I can make assumptions, I can analyze, I can try to understand it from afar, talk to my friends, have really, really great conversations with you guys and people that I know. But at the end of the day, I will never experience that, right?
Right.
I felt like some of the moments in the film that really shook me were just the lines being dropped by Killmonger.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that viewing that film as an American who living in today's society, man, there's a lot of truth in his anger. There's a lot of truth in his hatred. You're allowed to feel as a human being as angry as you can. Your feelings are your own, right? Like we don't regulate emotion. You can feel as angry as you can. Now, whether that anger makes you take horrible actions like, murder or war, that's something else. But his feelings are legitimate. They're justified. Man, just there's a point in the film where he's already king. He already beat T'Challa. He takes over and he's justifying. He's accused. He's looking at the court, right? The royal court there in Wakanda, and he's basically looking at them like, "Oh, it's good to be up here, isn't it? You guys are comfortable. You guys are nice." And it's almost like he's like, "How dare you live in this splendor and decide to turn a blind eye to the struggle of your black African American, African, whatever. There's African people all over the world, that, because of slavery, all over Latin America too, Brazil, Afro-Cubans, Afro-Caribbeans. And he's like, how can you just ignore them?
Yep.
And there's a point, and this is my big point. There's a point in where for one second, you want to side with Killmonger. And I don't know if that's, I mean, and then it's like, oh man, but his solution is a short-term solution. You know what I'm saying? It's a short-term answer because it's just gonna breed more hatred. It's gonna breed more violence. But for one split second, you feel what he's saying, and you're like, man, ooh, I don't know if I would be strong enough to resist his argument. I don't know. Those are my 2 cents.
I completely agree with a lot of what you said there. Just movie wise, so many thoughts coming out of this movie. Even initially coming out of it, and even more after having seen it today. The movie's incredible. Marvel definitely does have a villain problem. Eric Killmonger is the best Marvel villain that they've put on the screen since Loki, and captures the screen, even more charismatically than Tom Hiddleston did. I think to the point about race in this movie, one thing that really washed over me while I was watching this movie is, as Black people, generally speaking, when you see a movie and a marquee movie that has Black people in it, if it's not a Tyler Perry movie, it's about bondage, right? It's about Black people being in bondage. It is about the abuses against Black people in this country. A lot of it's about the civil rights movement, and all those things are important to talk about, but it is kind of traumatic to only see yourself in that way. So for the first time, I found myself, not only just in my adult life, but any time in my lifetime, seeing a Black person in such a regal way.
Mm-hmm.
And in a movie that is, I think, very openly and aggressively Black in dealing with Black issues. And I think talking about what it means to be in what they'd call the African diaspora, which is just the Africans around the world, and specifically here in the Americas, right, where you actually had the mid-Atlantic slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
And you do feel that Eric Killmonger has a righteous anger. He's a bad guy. He does bad things. It's immediate, but even the first time that you see him is a commentary on him coming into this very nice place. And the lady is so busy, concerned with this Black man that's in this very nice place, that she is not aware, spoiler alert, she's not aware of what she's putting into her body, that he's now poisoned her. Which is kind of to say, hey, your racism, even though you may not think it, your racism is so pointed that you can't even see what's really happening. So I think there's so many themes in this movie. You could just probably dedicate a whole episode to just talking about those themes. Africa versus African American. I think the mentality of what we're even going through in this country, right? Accepting refugees, giving foreign aid, something that our president and his cabinet are talking about. And not to get too political, but it's a thing that we know is happening. What is our responsibility to the dreamers? What is our responsibility to illegal immigrants who have come here from places where they've been displaced and they're trying to live a better life? And this movie is talking about a lot of that when Nakia says, hey, we have a responsibility. That the movie's just incredible on so many levels. And that was just a lot of takeaways, but I think a very woke, conscious movie, but a fantastic, fabulous entry into the MCU. Maybe the best movie they've done yet. I put this one and Winter Soldier for me right after that.
Oh man, that's exactly my order. But yeah, like you said, man, it points out so many different things that are going on. Like one of Killmonger's lines is, when we're all suffering, where were you? Where was Wakanda? And that not only points just to the Black experience all over the world where, we're suffering, it's anybody suffering. Like, they have the means and the ability to help out, yet they hide behind their walls, and it's kind of like, is that what we're turning into as America? Like, we don't want to give foreign aid because we're so worried about somebody coming in and messing up our stuff that we're not willing to put ourselves out and help when we have the ability to do so. So like you said, it's so woke in the fact that it deals with all of the different themes and things that are going on in our country and worldwide, that are going to go over probably a lot of people's heads. They're not really going to notice that, but it opens a conversation. Like, it's a conversation starter, and it's still a great, like you said, entry into the MCU. It's still an amazing Marvel movie if you don't catch any of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think like something that I hadn't thought about till Jermaine brought it up. It's like, I feel like, and not to take away at all from the fact that Wakanda is an African country, and led by African people. But that last scene, one of the last scenes in the film, when T'Challa is at the UN or something, and they're like opening up, right? They're like, we're gonna open up, and he's like, we're gonna treat everyone as one tribe. So for me, that's not just all Africans or Black people. That's just the entire world, right? We are going to no longer turn a blind eye to those in need. That to me was, Wakanda is at the end of the day, Wakanda is the most technologically advanced, and you could say the wealthiest country in the world when you talk about like how precious vibranium is, right? Like, I mean, if not the richest, one of the wealthiest, top up. So in many ways, it's a parallel to the U.S., right? As one of the most advanced military in the world and the wealthiest when it comes to production and just how, I mean, even, I hate saying this, but even Americans that are, not living in great wealth still technically have a decent lifestyle compared to other parts of the world, right? That's not always the case, but I'm just saying that's like a generalization.
Mhm.
So Wakanda is definitely a parallel to it's a mirror view to the U.S. and you're right. And I hadn't thought about this till Jermaine brought it up. Like so when T'Challa says we're gonna open up our resources, it's almost like it's like a commentary on like America today. It's like, what are we doing with our resources? What are we doing with our technology? And I get it. At some point, you gotta look out. I think. Well, I was listening to a speaker one time said, you gotta have a house to be hospital to be a host, right? To welcome people into your house, you need to have a house. So you need to take care of your house. But once you have a house, you better damn be a good host. You know, you don't get to keep you're not. Once you have a home, and it's a good home. You better open your doors up to those who are in need. So for me, that really resonated, and it's great commentary. It really, this film raises the bar on what superhero films have the capacity to be. Because don't get me wrong, I loved Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that film. That film was about friendship. It was about identity. It was about, who are you? Are you who you are? Who defines who defines who you are? But the weight of the comedy in that film at times took away from the seriousness of the message, right? And don't get me wrong, I love that film.
Right.
I'm ready to buy the Blu-ray next, whenever that comes out, next week or in 2 weeks. But man, like the fact that this film was so intense and so serious, and yet still had comedy. It had some lighthearted moments, obviously, but just like the comedy didn't take away from how heavy the themes were in the film, and it raises the bar for superhero films, and it raises the bar on DC.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a almost impossible bar for them to clear now. But there's just so many things about this movie. We've talked about the messaging. We've seen it. We can't say that we haven't seen prestige comic book movies before. Obviously, we've had The Dark Knight, which was an incredible success. We had Logan, which a lot of people who were even critical of comic book movies came out saying this is one of the better comic book movies I've ever seen. I think the difference between this and those is the impact of what it's going to do, I think, for the kids that are seeing it, like Devin's daughter. I mean, let's talk about the performances by the women.
Oh my God, yes.
In this cast. Danai Gurira, I hope I'm saying her last name right, who plays Okoye, is Michonne on The Walking Dead, who's always incredible. Lupita Nyong'o, who is, look, I mean, my wife's just going to have to accept that she's going to be a sister wife or something. I don't know. And then Leticia Wright as Shuri. Just incredible performances by Black women, again, in a space that we don't get to see Black women occupying, being strong, and arguably being a better part of the movie than T'Challa. Even though Chadwick Boseman is great, I think this movie really belongs to Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger and really belongs to the women. They're incredible. And I think you are going to see filmmakers, engineers come from this. I think it's going to be like the Star Trek effect. When people said they would watch Star Trek and they would come up with these ideas because it inspired them, I think that's what you're going to see here. And there's a couple things that we can take away from this. You can't say that an all-Black cast with a Black director, with one Black executive producer, a Black makeup artist, costumer, you can't say that these movies can't open up overseas. You can't say that white folks aren't going to see them. According to statistics, 35% of the people who went to go see it were white people. So this hopefully opened the doors. I hope to see Latino characters. I hope to see uh, Asian characters, Muslim characters, gay, lesbian, trans characters. I hope it opens the door, because being in that theater, and Devin, you can tell me if you got the same sense. It was some of the happiest Black folks I've seen in a long time, being in that movie theater. And though this is a fictional world, to see yourself represented, I hope that all marginalized groups get a chance to have a movie like that, that's not celebrating their pain, but celebrating the potential of what they can be. I think that would be awesome. And I hope it opens those doors for every marginalized group in this country, because it's about time.
Absolutely. The timing of this movie is impeccable. I mean, like you talked about, just like the strong women characters and the Time's Up movement, like it's perfectly timed with all of that. Um, it's funny because it took the women to be able to be like, look what you're doing to Wakanda, look what you're doing to us, to make them lay down arms and actually be like, yeah, we're dumb, we're a bunch of dumb idiots.
Right.
We're not. This needs to stop. And he realized, yeah, I'm an idiot. Laid down the weapons, and that stops right there. Mm-hmm. The women, like you said, the women took over. It was amazing, and like you said, that moment in the theater of just happiness. Like my daughter, when she just saw the trailer, her eyes lit up, and she stood up and put her hands up and said, "African Americans!" Like she was just so pleased and happy to see herself reflect on the TV in everybody that she saw, everything that she saw. Where, like you said, every movie that we've had where it's been like a predominantly Black cast, if it's not a Medea movie, which I can't stand those most of the time anyway, it's either us being, it's some kind of comedy, it's something about our pain and our trials and tribulations through civil rights, or we're drug lords and kingpins and crap like that. So to see so much just Black celebration, Black excellence, is something we've never seen before, and it just touches me. And I get to share this with my kids, and they get to see something like this and come up in hopefully a world that no longer talks about just the pain, but can celebrate us and can see us in a different light. Like you talked about, like the scene at the end when at the UN, and he says we need to treat everybody as one tribe. Like at the end of the day, like that's what we've been trying to say forever. Like the color of my skin doesn't matter. Like you strip away that, and on the inside, we're all the same. So we need to stop fighting that battle. Like, can we get past it finally? Are we ever going to get past just the outward appearance and realize that it doesn't matter? Like we're all the same on the inside. And hopefully that message right there sticks with a lot of people who go to see this movie, if they're smart enough to stay after daggone credits, because that still kills me at a Marvel movie. If you're going to a Marvel movie, come on, there's going to be at least two credit scenes.
There's no excuse.
None.
You should know it's Marvel. There's a stinger. God. They obviously they didn't invent it, but they popularized it, so you should know. But also the other thing I want to say just real quick, an incredible 12 months for African Americans in cinema. If you just look at the last 12 months, Get Out, opening so big and such a well done movie, just incredible. And then this summer, with Girls Trip, having 4 Black women who, by the way, aren't the youngest women. Mm-hmm. These are 4 established actresses, and Tiffany Haddish giving that performance. 4 Black women doing things that normally is reserved for 4 white men. Yep. Is just incredible. Again, another number one. And now having this, and so hopefully that does open the floodgates. Again, we've been saying it. Black people can open movies. Wonder Woman proved women can open movies. There are marginalized groups out here, and they want to see themselves on screen. Yep. And I hope that we get to see. The gay version of Iceman. I would love to see that in the next X-Men. I would love to see Kamala Khan. There are so many characters that I think this is gonna finally kick down that door.
You forgot Moonlight won Best Picture last year.
Moonlight,
that's right.
Moonlight. even though Warren Beatty,
Mm-hmm.
did that whole thing. But yeah, Moonlight, incredible. It's just been an incredible year, and hopefully it continues to trend that way. And somebody pointed out, and I can't take credit for this, Ryan Coogler, black director, went out, hired a female cinematographer, and I believe she is nominated for an Oscar for best cinematography for Mudbound. So just proving, if you give disenfranchised people an opportunity, they will hire other disenfranchised people, bring them along, and give them the opportunity. You have a black man hiring a white woman to film this, and she did an incredible job.
Yeah. What are the? I hate going into this topic because I feel like I don't want to be let down. But is there any chance that Black Panther is the first superhero film to even be considered for a Best Picture nomination? Ooh, man, the silence. Silence is killing me, man.
You want to say yes, like
right?
You want to say how could it not?
Right.
But then you have it has two things going against it. It's a comic book movie, one, and then it's a bunch of black folks on screen.
Moonlight hopefully shows that the second point can be overcome. It can even crush La La Land. Fuck that movie,
I bet you Jermaine loved that movie.
I didn't mind La La Land. I didn't have a problem with La La Land.
He didn't mind it. He didn't mind it.
I did not mind it. Okay, Dev, you don't know my life. You don't know my life. You don't know what I'm going through.
What was that other one? The Greatest Showman or something? But you let that too, didn't you?
I did not see that, but I wanted to, because low key, I'm about that musical life.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, maybe, but I don't think it's likely. We didn't see a nomination for Patty Jenkins for Wonder Woman. There were some people that thought Wonder Woman should be nominated for Best Picture. I don't know. I think it was one of the most fun pictures I saw last year. And I thought it was a great comic book movie. But keep in mind, again, we've had The Dark Knight, and that's one of the reasons why the Academy expanded the pool of nominees for Best Picture. The Dark Knight wasn't nominated, and that kind of spurred that. I think it'll be difficult. I think there's a lot of people in Hollywood that maybe are just going to say, hey, this is a big comic book movie. And they're right. But we'll see how the year progresses. I think it definitely – I think we'll be nominated for some things. Whether it's in any big categories, I don't know. But makeup, costuming, I could definitely see maybe special effects, visual effects. We'll see.
Yeah. I just feel
all
like
all the stars' original song, maybe.
Yeah. How are you? I feel like how could you not? Because honestly, when you really sit down and look at the movie, it's so much more than a comic book movie that I don't see how you can't at least have it in the conversation. Like
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not of the opinion that the Best Picture has to be some crazy revolutionary social commentary in the world. Like, I mean, a Best Picture can just be a great film with a great script and great acting and great director. But I think it has to be part of the conversation. Whether does this movie deliver a message about society that is relevant and that impact people's lives? I'm not saying that's the only criterion to use, but I feel like it should be one of them. And if we're going by that standard, the movie should definitely be talked about in that sense. So.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with you. I hope, and this is kind of the thing with the Academy. There's films that come out and make a bunch of money that critics like, that audiences like. The Avengers, that movie wasn't nominated for Best Picture, even though you could make an argument just by the popularity of it and how many people went to go see it, that you could make the popularity kind of argument for it. Ultimately, it'd be nice to see something that's in between the prestigiousness of an Academy Award and the silliness of an MTV Award. I think both of them get some things right. Popularity matters, but I think to your point, this is a comic book movie that that asks a lot of questions, and they don't answer those questions for you. They have some conversations that we've never seen on screen. I mean, Deb and I, we can attest to this. There was some conversations going on there that you only have with other Black people.
Yeah.
That you know, it's just like when you go to the restaurant and you're scared to order fried chicken when there's a whole bunch of white people around because you're like, are we opening ourselves up to something here?
That is my
it's kind of like
day at work.
Yeah. These are some conversations that was like, no, we gotta just have these conversations amongst ourselves. So, but hey, white people, we're talking about this. Although I think it's gonna go over a lot of heads. But it definitely has a message. It's a great movie. It's beautiful. It's well acted. And I want to be Michael B. Jordan when I grow up.
Dude, tell me about it, right? Like, how could you not? Yeah. And did anybody catch the fact that Killmonger was wearing Saiyan armor? Just throwing it out there.
Saiyan armor?
Look at him. Look at Vegeta. Look back at him. Then Vegeta. Look at him.
Yeah, you're right.
He's wearing he's a huge anime fan too. He's wearing Saiyan armor. The coloring, where the plates are, the gold right here. He's wearing Saiyan armor.
I need to look this up, bro.
Oh yeah, low key. It's a low key Dragon Ball homage.
You're saying before he puts on the
Black Panther suit, just his regular attire throughout the rest of the movie, like the armor that he's wearing. It is
Saiyan armor.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan looks over 9,000.
Yeah. He went over 9,000 for this movie. Like somehow he just dwarfs Chadwick Boseman, who is super ripped anyway.
He went like, Kaioken like level 10.
Dude, his level of swole was not even. He was like just so perfectly swole. It was not fair. He was cheating. Just cheating, not fair at all.
Man, I thought he was awesome in Creed. Man, this is definitely. Definitely a new character for him, right? I think I mentioned this last week in our show last week. It's nice to see him play like the bad guy because it's a new role for him, you know.
And he's excellent at it. I mean, he's absolutely excellent at it. Like he makes you absolutely sympathize with that character, and there's maybe people listening or watching that haven't seen it. I won't spoil anything, but it's absolutely one of the characters.
I think the spoiler alert, went off.
Are we allowed to? Are we allowed to divulge things? Are we past the spoiler point now?
I'll make a note. I'll make a note in the podcast notes that says a spoiler. But I mean, I don't know.
I think the last line, right? His last line is one of the most epic last lines. So again, spoiler alert.
Yeah, man.
Spoiler alert. But when he is dying, and I believe the last line, and I'll paraphrase here, but I believe the last line is T'Challa's asking him, "Hey, you think we can save you?" He says, "You're just going to lock me up."
Why? So I can just be locked up?
Yeah. Why? So I can just be locked up. Throw me in the ocean like my ancestors who jumped off of the ship because they knew dying was better than living a life in bondage.
Man,
I teared up.
That line.
I teared up. That brought me to tears. I was like,
That line is incredible and is a perfect example of why you walk out of the theater knowing that Eric Killmonger is a bad guy. But again, his anger comes from a very righteous place to some degree for what he's seen. And a lot of us know a very real place. Oakland in the 1990s. I didn't live in Oakland in the 1990s, but I did live in LA. So yeah, comes from a very righteous place when you're seeing that type of stuff happening, and he just kills it as that villain. And I'm hoping low key he's still alive because we don't see him throw the body in the ocean. So maybe
Yeah,
he's still
man.
alive.
I'm telling so
What
just to do some
Shuri's
really
magic. So
crazy throwing something out there. What I would love to have happened is yes, they definitely locked him up. And when your boy Thanos comes and rains down fire on Wakanda to get the Soul Stone, which I'm convinced is the meteor that actually dropped on the planet and it's what's creating the
gotta be.
vibranium, that he breaks your boy Killmonger out and it's like, let's go. And there we have rebirth of Killmonger because that is a villain, like you said. Marvel has a villain problem. He is the greatest villain ever. So that is my hope of hopes. I don't think it's actually gonna happen, because I think it also does that last line. It does it a disservice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, like, honestly, like the whole final fight scene, which wasn't about the combat at all. It was actually about their conversation. I think it does all of that a disservice if you resurrect him. As much as I would like that to happen, I think they need to actually just let him be dead.
I mean, that blade went in deep, man.
But it's Wakanda.
Super
They can.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, Shuri's over here healing white boys all the time. White boys and colonizers
broken white boy for
every
you to fix.
day. I mean, like they have hover bikes. Apparently,
You guys
like
hover
they
bike?
have hover bikes. They can fix Killmonger. That's not a Shuri can do that in her sleep.
Right.
I
Like,
agree
a
that
black African woman smarter than Tony Stark. Are you kidding me? I love this movie.
I agree that it would be a disservice to bring him back. There's a power to his death that is just you can't. I don't know. There's a power to the way he dies. I don't. Man, if you ally him with Thanos, I don't think so. I think he fights alongside Black Panther because of the bigger picture, right? Which is I don't know, survival, right? But I think it's one of those things where if you bring him back, which I don't think they will, he fights. He has a temporary truce for humanity, and then he goes off the grid. Like he just because he's not gonna go back. He's a criminal, and he's not gonna go back into bondage, into being in a cage. So I think he just goes off the grid, right? He disappears, to fight his war, his underground war.
I mean, that's what he knows best.
Right.
That's what he was trained to do.
And I mean, comedy answer: Thanos is the ultimate colonizer. I mean, let's just say it. If anybody's gonna wind Killmonger up, it's gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
Like, you thought what they did to Africa was bad. Wait till you see this guy. And what he's bringing. He's trying to enslave the whole world so he can marry death. I don't know if they're going there, but I'm assuming they're going there. Like, Killmonger.
Story,
he's not gonna let Thanos colonize Earth. Or is he?
I mean, what if Thanos offers him like ruler of Earth? What if he offers him everything? It's like, hey, if you join me, I'll give you this planet.
Nah, because see, Killmonger is that dude. He's not trying to be ruled by anybody. He's trying to be the ruler, the conqueror. So he's not having that.
True.
He's gonna be like, nah, bro, I'm getting that Infinity Gauntlet. I'm gonna take that. Because you know why? Because I'm feeling
Killmonger. That maybe that's why they had to kill Killmonger off. Because like I feel like Killmonger would just like straight up go to Thanos and be like, look, I'm taking this off you. Okay. And then Thanos will be like, oh, look at all my people. And he'd be like, you're so busy paying attention to me, baby. You wasn't worried about what you was sipping from that Infinity Gauntlet. And then Thanos just dies. And and then that's it.
Oh, man.
That's it. Like a little reality stone, mind wipe, slavery never happens or something.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going down a wormhole.
Wakanda.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You're about to cross into the multiverse and throw in. We're gonna see Darth Vader show up and stuff. It's gonna be crazy.
All sorts of stuff. Luke, the Russian Superman from that From Red
Oh
Sun, all
yeah,
sorts
from
of
Red
stuff
Sun.
can
Oh
happen
wow,
with
you
the
bringing that
Infinity
one in.
Gauntlet.
Man.
Oh man.
Hey, I hate to bust at the party, but we need to walk to the finish line at some point.
Yeah, we do.
Or I'm gonna
Alright.
get a word from our colonizers. Oh man. It's been good, man. This has been a good conversation. I'm not gonna lie, there were times when I was gonna cry tonight in this conversation. There were times when I was about to tear up and I was like, oh, this movie's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But I held back because it's unrated and I gotta be a pro. So
Right.
We have editing for that. We can edit out the tears.
Nah,
right?
man, nah. It's part of it. It's part of the experience.
You just got to let the tears flow, man. Just have an Oprah moment.
Oh, that's what I did. They just
Yeah.
in the theaters. I didn't care. It was just they was coming. And I was like, "You're gonna deal with it." I'm crying. This is the movie right here. So
Yeah, I think Black Panther is a movie that definitely, like, even when like the Blu-ray comes out and there's like deleted scenes and stuff like that, I think that's something that will bring a conversation again. You know, because then it will be like didn't the director say something that there was a scene that he wanted to throw in the movie that he couldn't, or that he, I don't know. I saw an article where they were like there were scenes that were deleted from the main film that were like he really wanted to get them in there, but it would have pushed it, like, I don't know. It would have been too much. So yeah, I think there's conversations to be had.
Yeah, we'll be talking about this movie for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
The only thing that I saw that he left out was having an Infinity Stone in it because he didn't want it to detract from the overall movie.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm convinced that the Soul Stone is there because Black folk got soul, and the vibranium. It's gotta be there, right? Because it's the only one that's missing so far, and it just makes sense.
It's true.
Especially with Infinity War, like you see in one of the trailers, like there's an attack on Wakanda. Why would there be an attack on Wakanda? So
they got laser guns, son.
They got something.
They got beam cannons.
That arm cannon that Claw had. Ooh.
Also, check for that Claw mixtape on SoundCloud.
Right?
It's gonna be amazing.
Dev, take us out, man. What anything you want to plug in?
Nah, I mean, check for us, on PSVG. Listen to all the wonderful things that we are putting out day by day. You can hear me as part of the OT on Saturdays. Actually, no, I take that back. We record live on Saturdays. We drop on Tuesday if you want to listen instead of watch. Check out the website. We have articles going up from time to time. I know Mo is working on something big. A couple of other pieces will be coming down the pipelines as well. Other than that, you can catch me on the Twitters at DevAtias. If you want to be my friend on Xbox, it's just DatNinjaDev because I have an Xbox now. Xbox. Other than that, that's where you can catch me at.
As for me, my Twitter account is basically the podcast account, Unrated Podcasts. I talk about crap, mostly Rainbow Six Siege. So just let's see. They don't let me on the other podcast, so I'm not one of those. I'm still waiting for my invite for OT, but it's cool.
It's coming.
That's why I invited Mo to play Siege with me. So it's like now he feels like he has to invite me to something else. It's like it's a total guilt trip.
Hey, don't worry. You're gonna come to OT, and then our new thing, the double OT, is going to be after the show where we actually play some games and stream it on Mixer. So feel free to join.
Real? Is this real?
This is a world premiere. World premiere.
Console exclusive.
Yeah, we will be playing the double OT is going to be our new little thing after the after show.
This is real.
This is real. Yes,
word. Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to be streaming. I think tomorrow will be the first one. We're going to be streaming, I believe, PUBG on Mixer, the two of us. So feel free to join us if you're up late and you got a little late night craving for some gaming. Come join Coach Mo and Dev on the OT or the I'm not sorry, the OT, the double OT.
As far as plugging in, Star Trek Discovery, I mean, I know we were talking about Black heroes. That show has a Black heroine in it, and she's amazing. She's a great character. She's awesome. Michael Byrne. She's like the lead. She's not the captain, but she's like the lead character in that show. That was a great show. Star Trek Discovery. I don't care what the final reviews for the season were amazing. So just push through the slow episodes and watch that show because it's the last 5 episodes like really like are really good. So that's my plug for tonight.
Sweet. Jermaine, you got anything you want to add? Can people find you anywhere in the social media world?
People can find me on Twitter at JV the Monster, spelled the black way. So that's JVTHAMON. I think STHA. Yeah, Monster. Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter, and occasionally I may say funny things. Ava DuVernay, acclaimed director, liked one of my tweets. That's my little name drop right there. Felt pretty good. So if more people follow me, then I will tweet more things. Otherwise, I am kind of working on some ideas and hope to be able to maybe come back on with you guys after some of these upcoming movies come out. Yeah.
All right, Deb, take us out, man. Send us home.
Right. Thank you guys for listening to this audio wonderfulness. And like always, this is Unrated.